Hi there, Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Man, it looks like I've been through a whirlwind. How are you? It is Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We are ready to go, ready to create. And evidently I haven't looked at my hair today, so we're just gonna tuck and roll. We'll just say it that way. So for tonight, I have two projects, ready to go for you. So I think we should probably get moving, and I'm gonna flip around. Hold on. So while I'm flipping you around, hopefully we're fairly lined up. There we go. Just a reminder that if you have not told me you're coming for the Christmas party on Saturday, anytime from 10 to 2, please let me know. You don't have to RSVP, but if you want to have guaranteed a project to do, then you do need to tell me. Okay? I will have some cut regardless, but you understand me. Alright, so are we ready to go? I hope so. Okay, so for tonight, I am doing this cute little 3D star ornament. This is something you can die cut a bunch out and have them pre-scored and ready to go, and they're easy for the kids to do. Then, if not, then you gotta bring a die cutting machine and you gotta bring and off to the races, right? Okay. So, let me move this stuff. All right, so for this one, I have a little bit different ribbon. I have the woven evergreen, or the open weave instead of the woven, sorry. And then I've just picked some different paper, but it's the same category or the same set. So the only thing I've done ahead of time is grabbed a 6x6 piece of the paper out of the Christmas Tidings, I believe it is. Anyways, and then the stars come from the Christmas Trimmings dies, which is part of that same collection. So there you go with that. So I've pre-done those so I didn't have to bring the big machine over. And I'm going to show you how to do the star. You don't do anything to the smaller one, okay? But you do a whole bunch to the bigger one. So you grab here and you go, so every point you are taking and you are running a straight line across. So whether that be the indent, whether that be another point. So I'm going to start at the top. Make sure to have your scoring blade when you do this. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to flip this way just so I can remember. So now we're going to do this valley to this point. And then we're going to flip and go this point to this valley. I hope this makes sense to you. And then we're going to do that. Whoa, hold on, that moved. That valley to that point. And then we're going to do this point to this valley. And I think we should be done, if I remember. Yep. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to do a couple different, whoop, yeah, sorry about that, dropped it. But I'm going to do this and see if you can see, yeah, you can see a couple of the score lines. So what you're going to do now is you're not going to bend it all the way across. What you're going to do is you're going to bend up at each point and down at the others. So you get the 3D. So here's a point, so I'm going to bend up. Here's a point, so I'm going to bend up. Here's a point, so I'm going to bend up. Here's a point, so I'm going to bend up. up. And then we should, and then naturally it goes the other way, right? This one not so much, so we're gonna just kind of be careful not to tear, which I just did. It's okay. This is something you can do with the kids. So there's my semi 3D, okay? So then what you do is you flip this guy over, okay? And now this is gonna go in here with a dimensional, but first we gotta get some ribbon, right? So depending on how long you want it, how big of a loop you want, all that kind of stuff, if you kind of put it in there, then we're gonna grab our snips. I'm gonna give it a little bit of extra room. And I'm gonna grab my Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm gonna grab my glue dots, my mini glue dots. And my snips again, of course, right? Because I've got my glue dots out. And I'm gonna put two glue dots, if I could talk. I'm gonna put two glue dots down. So I've got connecting points for the ribbon. So there's one. And you wanna be careful not to mash this too much. And there's my second one. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is take this and put it down in one spot, loop it around to the other one. If your loop is too long, you can either knot it up here, you can tie a bow, or you can simply bring it down and snip the edge off. It's up to you on how long, how big, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm grabbing my, I can't seem to flip that over. There we go. So I'm grabbing here, and I'm gonna grab my dimensional, just one, believe it or not. We're gonna flip that over, and we're gonna stick that down in the middle. And there's our 3D star. Just that simple. So it's kind of a concave, and there you go. Okay, so those are kind of cool, huh? Easy for the kids to make if you need something to do. Okay, over the holidays, you know, all those kind of things. Like I said, you could just, you know, while you're watching TV, die cut a bunch and just score them and be done. So that's an idea. Let's see here. And then second idea I have is to do one of these treat guys. Okay, so I have got in front of me a partial sheet of real red, a piece of basic black. Let's see, what color is this? Mango Melody, I believe, but you can also use Crushed Curry, you can use Daffodil Delight. You just need a gold, and then you also need a scrap piece of white. That's it. So we're gonna cut this from start to finish for you, and we'll do a cute treat for you. All right, so the red needs to be 2 by 8.5. So there's my 8.5 side. And here's my 2. Now we're cutting this time, not scoring. Why is it at 2? Because that's the width of the tag punch. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna find a place to put that to the side. Now we're gonna score on the 8.5 inch side at 3 3/4. Remember, we're scoring light side, 3 3/4, and at 4 3/4. Okay, so what you should have is equal amounts on the two sides, and then a middle bridge or gap. That's your bottom. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my tag punch, and we're gonna stick each of the sides in. I cut it a little tiny bit too much. Needs to be just under 2, not over. So we're just gonna take like a 32nd of an inch off. Just enough so it'll go in there, okay? All right, so now it should fit just perfect, except I want to punch with my right hand, so gotta flip it around. Okay. So there's my one. Any tag punch will do. If you don't have the tag punch and have the lovely label pick a piece, whatever it's called, that works too. Okay. So there's that one. So there's my, this is my box. Okay. This is my, that's my box. So far so good. Okay. So now I'm gonna grab my black and I'm gonna bring my trimmer back and I'm gonna go 3/4 of an inch by 6. This is your belt, okay? So 6 inches is almost at the stop for the entire cutter. So on the 6-inch side, I'm gonna score at 1. I'm gonna score at 2. I'm gonna score at 4. And I'm gonna score at 5. The scores are where the belt wraps around, okay? So this is my belt, okay? So this should go like this, and then this goes like this. So there's that piece, okay? And then for the buckle part, we need this to be, let's see, well, there's the 3/4. Now we just need the 7/8. There's my buckle. And then this is scrap, but we can use this for later. So we're gonna put that to the side. And then the yellow, I thought I had a scrap still. I do, okay. The yellow, I'm gonna grab, and the yellow is 1 1/8 by 1. So we're gonna, there's my 1. I guess I've done this before, huh? And then we're gonna do 1 1/8, and that is the midpoint of the buckle, or the gold, right? So this should go like this, and that should go like that. Okay. All right, so with all that, now I gotta grab my little white piece that I have. Hey, Kath, how are you? Yeah, you missed a little, but it's okay. So you missed one whole project. So now I'm gonna grab my ice cream builder punch. If you have the old scallop circle that's 3/8 of an inch, I believe it is, that would work as well, but I'm showing you how to use something that is from before, or you know, something that's not meant to be this. So, and I'm gonna do 2, okay? So there's that. Okay, and are we ready? I hope so. Okay, so now all I have to do is punch a little circle. This is the button. Okay, it's right there. And now we're just gonna put this thing together. So I'm gonna grab my tear and tape, and my glue dots is what I'm gonna need. Move this up, move this up, move this up, move this way. Okay, are we ready? Yeah, I hope so. So for this one, I am going to figure out where I want this to go. And I'm going to grab my tear and tape, and I'm going to put the tear and tape in the big middle section and on either of the two ends, but not on the two sides, because that goes where it's going to be open on the side, so you don't want glue there. All right, so let's find the end of this. If my fingers will work, it would be amazing. Okay, there we go. We are off and going. Okay, so there's one. This is the pivot point, so I'm going to make sure I have 2 strips on there. And then for each end, I'm actually going to go diagonal, because I never seem to be able to do it small enough for it to go straight. So I'm just doing diagonal. Okay, so there we go. And let's see, the rest of it I can do with either glue dots or dimensionals. Maybe seal, we'll see how it comes together. But first I'm gonna grab my handy dandy snips, and I'm just gonna do the 2 back ones first. Don't need to expose too much. If you feel adventurous, feel free to do all of them at the same time, but I've been a little klutzy today, so I'm thinking I don't need to make that happen, right? So I'm gonna grab down here. Okay, put there. Okay, and if you fold this up, yep, that'll work. Okay, so now what I want to do is take the 2 of these off. Maybe. There's a little bit of static tonight, evidently. Okay, and when you do this, you want to make sure it's flat on the ground, so that way when you do this, it goes around properly and not crooked. So there's my side. And once you have one side, you can just match up the other one and it's no problem. But getting that first side is a bit of a challenge. Okay, so there's my box, my treat, my tag treat is what I'm calling this. So now what I'm going to do is put that on there. And then I'm going to put, so I'm using my Stampin' Seal to do this part. We're just going to place that on there gently and make sure it's not crooked. And then push from behind so I don't mash it, right? Okay. And then I'm going to actually use a dimensional for my buckle, so it pops up a bit. So we're going to put that right there in the middle. So there's that. And then some of you are like, hey, it's done. Well, it can be, yeah, but if you don't want it to be, you've got this, which I think I'm just going to use one. Looked a little weird to me, so let's see. If you want to cut it flat, you can do that. I did that on the other one and I was like, yeah, I don't know. So up to you on what you do. Where'd my glue dots go? There we go. If you want to leave the beard and the button off, go for it. Up to you. So we're going to grab here and we're going to throw this button on. Hey, Iris. How are you, sweetie? So this is the button. Okay. So that is my treat thing. And instead of using a bag, I picked up my favorites. These are the caramels. I'm not much of a dark chocolate. So there you go. And 3 of them fit so nicely down in there. Huh. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ribbon. You need about 5 inches, give or take. Up to you on how long, how big, all that kind of stuff you want this. If you want a bow, you need a couple more inches. It's really up to you on what you do. So now we're going to take this here, thread it through. Take this here, thread it through. Grab that loop at the other end and tuck this through and pull. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Oh, we gotta trim the ends. Then that's all there is to it. And that's all there is. So I don't know if I like it trimmed better. I think I like it trimmed better, but oh well. Too late now. And then that's what you missed is the first one, Kath. I made a 3D star ornament. And that was done on Sarah's, but I added the ribbon. That's the difference. But that was done on Sarah's video last week. I'm not sure when. So, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had a good time. I hope you got some new ideas. Next week, hold on, I already have next week's. I can show you. Hold on a second. It's down in here. It's down in here. Hold on. So next week we're doing last minute, last minute, because it's the 22nd, right? So next week we're going to be doing out of the ombre bags this cute little note card with a gift card pocket. That's going to be next week, as well as this money holder. And this happens to be the exact size of cash. So if your thing didn't get shipped on time, you're not doing gift cards, you're seeing them in person, this is a great one to do cash, okay? Or anything that's the same size, okay? And I guess you could probably glue it and make 2 different gift card pockets or whatever, but that is for next week. But if we're living in the now, this is what we did this week. So thanks for showing up, and thank you for joining me, and follow me, stampingwithjohnny.com. Have a great evening. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.